What's up, VC? It's Steve again, Harmless Rebel, and it's time for another contest video. It's been probably, I don't know, over a year since I did a contest, and honestly, I hadn't planned on doing one anytime soon. My wife suggested this, so I decided, what the heck. My wife and I have been going back and forth for a couple months, and have decided to open a record store here in the Atlanta area. More specifically in the Marietta area, which is a suburb of Atlanta. Again, we've gone back and forth on this. I should say that I say that we're going to open it. Technically, it's me that's going to be running the store. My wife has her own business, so she keeps her pretty busy. But we've been looking just for a business to do for a while. I'm doing some other stuff on the side as well, so that won't be my sole source of income. And obviously, we have another business through my wife. But it's something that we had talked about, you know, just kind of mentioned over or once in a while here and there, and over the last couple months or a few months, we've gotten pretty serious about it to the point now where we have a location, we have a good portion of the startup inventory. We've got pretty much everything done, but actually building out the store, which is most of the way done. It's a completed store. I just need to build the shelving and stuff, but. And then, you know, we're putting together the final startup funds right now. We're about $5,000 away from having the startup money. So we're hoping to get it open by the end of July is the goal, mid to end of July. But and there's a number of reasons for that. Number one, I love music. I love vinyl. And we're also going to sell CDs, tapes, any kind of music will be sold there. But it'll primarily be a record store. And you know, we want it to be the kind of record stores that we love. And there are none of those in this area. Not to say that there's not good record stores. There's a couple. But for a city the size of Atlanta and with a metropolitan area, you know, with the surrounding cities as big as they are, there's actually very few record stores. You know, in the metro area, there's probably about 12 record stores, maybe 15. If you count the CD warehouses, the CD stores have a small vinyl collection, or selection, excuse me. But the problem with the record stores here is they're pretty much all the same, other than the fact that, you know, you've got Criminal Records, which is the main store in the city, but Criminal Records sells new records. They have a very small selection, I mean in the hundreds of used vinyl. And most vinyl collectors that I know prefer used vinyl. I know very few that only buy new vinyl. Actually, I know none that buy new vinyl. And then all of the other stores are pretty much the same. It's the same selection. You know, it's the 70s and 80s music for the most part. It's the classic rock, a little bit of hard rock, but it's the Led Zeppelins. Everybody's got the same thing though, and you know, everybody's got their own price points and whatnot. But there's not a store that has a good metal selection or a good punk selection or a good psych selection, or, you know, they're just all hodgepodge stores. You know, and being a hard rock and metal head, I want to make sure that there's a good metal selection and hard rock selection and punk selection. Something that's lacking. There's not even a good store with a good country selection here, and we're in Georgia, you know. And these are the things I hear people complaining about, you know. And most of these stores, they don't try to curate that kind of selection. You know, if somebody brings it in, they buy it. They don't go out looking for stuff. You know, another thing that I find missing from the record stores here is something that's real popular on the West Coast, especially in LA, San Diego area, is live music coming into the stores. Like I said, Criminal Records is the biggest store. They may do one thing every 3 or 4 months, but you know, a lot of the stores that I grew up going to, and some of them that are still there in Phoenix, and I know that there's a bunch in LA, would have open mics on Saturday night. They would have acoustic nights on one night a week, you know. They would have bands come in and you know, do little shows on the weekend, not just to spur business, but to get those bands out there and known. So I want to do some stuff like that. You know, I'm a really big fan of that type of music store, and there are none in this area. I've already talked to some local artists that I'm friends with. I'm friends with a number of label owners that I've talked to about getting some little stuff done here and there. I've mentioned my friend Hope before, who won female vocalist of the year last year from one of the big country music associations about her doing something in the store. So there's a lot of people excited about it, and a lot of people excited about me starting a store. Even within some of the record store owners I know that I've talked to are really pushing me to do it as well. So anyway, here's the contest. We've run into a major issue. We've come up with a lot of cool names, and then we look them up, and there's either another record store with that name, within a 3 or 4 state area, or something very similar, where it's very by vinyl instead of record, or you know what I mean, real close. So what we're looking for is we're looking for some name ideas. So to enter the contest, you can do it 2 ways. I will let you do comments, an entry via comment. However, if you do that, you only get your name's going to be in the drawing for the prize once. If you do a video, it's going to be in 3 times. But here's what I want. I want at least two record store name ideas. It can't just be Record Heaven or something, that there's 50 of them. Take a couple minutes, look on Google. I want names that you're not going to find all over Google, that you're not going to look up and it's already there, And then just some original stuff, some cool names, So at least 2 of those. And then also just talk about what you look for in a record store, what you think is missing from the record stores that you go to right now, the ones that you frequent, or if you've stopped going to record stores and are shopping exclusively online, why you've made that decision. Excuse me. Yeah, just give me your ideas, give me your thoughts. The prize for this will be number 1. Again, you have to be a subscriber. It's just one of the main contest rules for any contest in the VC. But so if you do a video, you get 3 entries. If you do a comment submission to this video, you get 1 entry. Okay. And then the prize, we'll do the prize a little differently. We'll do a $30 limit, but send me a want list of albums that you want, and I'll go ahead and select one of those albums. I'll probably throw in some other goodies as well. But there'll be at least 1 new album that's going to be in that $20 to $30 range from your list, and then I'll throw in some other goodies as well. And then if for some reason we decide to use your idea for a record store name, you'll definitely get something along with that as well, and that'll be unrelated, and that'll be something that I work out with the person who came up with the name. Whether it's a bunch of swag from the store when it opens, T-shirts and stickers and other ephemera, or maybe if you're in this area, we'll work out like a 10% discount for forever, or something like that. We'll work that out. But I look forward to your ideas and your comments. Like I said, we're looking for, we've got a whole list of ideas and stuff that we've come up with with our friends, but we want to hear your suggestions as well. So, again, I look forward to it. I want to thank everybody who subscribed to me so far. Again, this is going to be, we're going to call it the 585 subscriptions contest, just because I have 585 subs right now. But that's it, VC. I look forward to your responses, and take care. Talk to you soon.